Good evening, everybody. This is Juliana Angel, your Dark Mask Diva. Winter is upon us. Here it is. It's very cold here in Sacramento. So I hope everybody's keeping warm. It seems like so far we're having record cold temperatures, so I'm not looking forward to all this cold we're getting already. So I know it's going to be a really cold one, so I hope everybody's bundling up. Astral and I, Sensational Delights, we're trying to stay warm here, so anyway, wish us luck. Alright, so tonight, Otherworldlies, I want to talk some more about this pretty privilege stuff, okay? Because I'm having a lot of people misunderstanding what it is. Okay, I'm going to talk about the people that have it. The people that have pretty privilege, guys, the people that have it are not villains. The people that have pretty privilege are not bad guys. Okay, let me talk about the people that have pretty privilege. Alright, they're not people you need to resent and dislike and all that other stuff, okay? Half the time the people that have pretty privilege don't even realize they have it. They're not going around saying, I'm better than other people. I'm pretty and you're ugly. Okay, that's not what they're doing. They're just good-looking people who probably have a different life perspective because they're being treated differently than other people, okay? They're also people who are being targeted by bozos. Alright, that's why I'm getting on my channel and talking about people with pretty privilege, because there is a bozo element in their life. Okay, that's why I'm talking about it on my channel. Alright, because people with pretty privilege do have a special type of bozo problem. And bozos treat different people different types of ways. Alright, just like the rest of society treats different people different types of ways. Alright, society treats good-looking people a certain type of way and not so good-looking people a certain types of way. Okay, bozos really bring it out. Alright, bozos stalk people with pretty privilege. Bozos try to basically ruin people's lives when they have pretty privilege. And bozos are just downright mean to people who are unattractive. Alright, bozos will get in the face of somebody who's unattractive and tell them they're ugly. Bozos will hover over people with pretty privilege and basically try to block them from getting any of the privilege. Alright, bozos will attach themselves to somebody with pretty privilege and basically trying to ruin them from getting any of the perks from being pretty, okay? You know, and I mean bozettes with, you know, handsome men who have the, you know, the male pretty privilege, okay? So we're talking bozos will try to block any opportunities anybody is getting from having anything they have going for them. So we're talking the people with a quote-unquote pretty privilege. They aren't bad people, you guys. They aren't the bad guys in the story. Alright, sometimes these people don't even realize they have it. They're just going around being good-looking, just getting these pretty privileges, not even knowing they're getting it. Okay? They're not going around being mean to other people. The bozos are. Okay? And sometimes the people who don't have the pretty privilege are being mean to the people with the pretty privilege, and the people with the pretty privilege don't know why. Okay? And we know why the people without it are being mean, because they're being made to feel less than. Okay? So we understand why. We, you know, because the other people feel resentful, and we can see why, right? Okay? So the people with the pretty privilege are not the bad guys here. Alright, it's just some people are getting their feelings hurt, okay? Understandably why? Because people are shallow, right? Okay, so it's nobody's fault, alright? It's just, you know, it's the halo effect, okay? So anyone who studied on pretty privilege will understand that concept. There's the halo effect and the horn effect, okay? So the people with the pretty privilege are not bad people. Alright, but once they realize they have it and why things are going well for them, that's when they can start to take their power back and realize That's why the bozos are targeting you. That's why you're being stalked, okay? That's why some people are being mean to you for no apparent reason. That's why people are judging you. That's why people aren't taking your mental illness seriously. That's why people don't understand when you say you don't feel well, and they go, well, you don't look sick, okay? They think if you're good looking that you don't look sick, okay? There are a lot of things that go wrong when you have pretty privilege. I mean, people, if you have a problem, people won't take your problem seriously because they don't think anything could possibly go wrong in your life if you have pretty privilege. People think that pretty people are just immune to having any sort of problems. That's just absolutely false, because pretty people are just like every other human being. They're human beings just like everybody else. And pretty people are not villains for being better looking than other people, because pretty people are just human like any unattractive people, okay? We are all basically the same inside. We all have the same needs. We all need to feel loved. We all need to feel a sense of community. We all need companionship. We all have the same needs. You know what I mean? We're all basically the same, okay? No matter what gender we are, no matter what we identify as, whatever race we are, we're all basically the same. We're all human beings. So it's not like the better looking people are the bad guys, or the less attractive people are the bad guys. Nobody's the bad guy here. I'm just saying, if anyone's the bad guy, it's the bozos, okay? Because they're going around trying to ruin everybody's life, basically. So the pretty privileged people are not the bad guys here. They're just being treated some kind of way because of the way they look, okay? So I really need people to quit coming to me and saying the pretty privileged people are the bad guys. They are not, okay? It's just something that is that occurs in nature, okay? And some of it is also social conditioning. All right. Pretty privilege is sometimes Eurocentric. Okay. If you're American, pretty privilege is Eurocentric. Okay. So and when I was in Europe, of course, it was also Eurocentric. Okay. I have pretty privilege when I'm in Europe. Okay. So I don't know what it's like in other places, because I've only been in Europe and I've only been in the United States. So I don't know what pretty privilege is like anywhere else. I just know that I have it in those two places, because it's Eurocentric in those two places. Okay. So, and I'm going to tell you right now, I am not a bad guy. All right, I'm like extremely loyal to everybody, and I am not a bad person, and I don't go around doing awful things to people, and I don't know why the people with pretty privilege are supposed to be the bad guy. But it's I suppose people believe that people with pretty privilege go around and take advantage of other people and that sort of thing. No, mostly people with pretty privilege don't realize they have it. They just have a different perspective on life because they're treated differently. All right. Most of the time, people with pretty privilege are going around getting harassed by people. Okay. They're getting made to feel scared. Okay. They're getting people blocking them when they're trying to walk somewhere. Sometimes they're getting physically intimidated by other people, especially if they're female. People with pretty privilege are often being made to feel unsafe. So it's not what you think it is. Okay, I know it's called privilege, but there's a lot of downfalls to it. There's a predatory aspect to it. So the people with the pretty privilege are not bad guys. So I'm really hoping that everybody knows the bozos are the bad guys. We are trying to deflect the bozos on this channel, okay? So the things that we know about the pretty privilege is it's a social thing. It's a social stigma. It's it's called the horn effect and the halo effect. It's just something that just occurs. Okay, it's psychology. You might just want to go study up on it, and people with it are not bad people. All right, they don't ask to have it; they just have it. Okay, and if it's something to take advantage of, you may as well, because you're going to be harassed for having it. Okay, and I have it, and most of the time it's not a privilege. Most of the time I'm harassed for having it. And I've been fighting bozos my entire life, and bozos just aren't opposite sex bozos. No, you can be harassed from people that don't have boundaries. Yeah, because what'll happen is people with control issues will harass you. It really brings out the worst, how can I say this, the dark characteristics of people. It does. It brings out the mental sickness in people. So you will have to fight a lot of battles where it will bring out the dark characteristics, the dark triad of behaviors in people. You will have to learn a lot of boundaries if you have pretty privilege, because it will bring out a lot of situations where you will have to put boundaries up, where you will have to get rid of a lot of toxic behaviors in other people. And average and unattractive people don't have to deal with it on the same level that you will have to deal with it if you have pretty privilege. So there's a whole lot of situations where you're going to have to learn more defense tactics than average people. So, with great power comes great responsibility. And so hopefully on this channel you will learn it. And I don't know how many other channels are teaching that. And but pretty privilege there, you really need to be on top of your game. Because it's not just privilege, it's people are going to try you constantly. They're going to harass you constantly. They're going to see your beauty as weakness. They are going to come after you. So, and people are going to call you a bad guy. They are going to assume that you are using it to further yourself. But no, people are just giving you things, okay, because you're pretty. But they're going to assume that that you're doing all these bad things that you're not doing. And a lot of the times less attractive people are really the ones who are the harder to get along with. It's not really you. It's really bozos. It's really people who are messing with you. You know what I'm saying? So it's probably not you if you have pretty privilege. I'm just keeping it real. So I'm really tired of people deciding that the people with pretty privilege are the bad guys, because that's not the case. A lot of truly beautiful people are just really incredibly lonely, and I'm just going to keep it real. So stop vilifying the people with pretty privilege. Enough. But I hope I can teach a lot of defense tactics against bozos, because those are the ones that the bozos are going after. So I hope that I've kind of opened that up a little bit and talked about that. But that's enough for now. This is Juliana Angel, your Dark Mask Diva, and I will talk to you otherworldlies in the next content. Bye-bye.